The next topic we are going to discuss is view parameters. View parameters provides support for handling get request parameters. So until now, what we have seen is we used H form, and when we submit the form, a post request is sent. So let's run this example. So over here, if I type something, some animal name and some total number, and when I submit, as you can see, a post request has been sent. So if we expand this, we can see that animal total and animal type, which are the form parameters, has been sent with the request. And over here, since the fields were bound to animal bean, first of all, the animal bean got created, it's a request scope bean, and the fields got populated. And finally, the command button was bound to save animal method. So basically, this method ran. So this is how a post request is serviced. We have seen many examples of this. Now JSF2 also provides support for get request. A functionality something like this, when a bean gets created and the bean gets populated, is also available now for get. Here's an example. So over here, a new section has been introduced, and we have mentioned two parameters. These parameters or view parameters are used to handle the get request parameters. So let's run this example to see how it works. So over here, let's open the page. Instead of index, let's open trial.xhtml, and as you can see, a get request has been sent. And over here, since we are not mentioning any request parameters, nothing is displayed over here. If you see over here in the page, we are displaying the values of animal bean type and total number. Since we haven't passed anything, nothing is displayed over here. So let's now pass the request parameters. The parameters we have to pass are type and total number, and the parameters we'll pass will be entered in this bean over here. So let's type that. Let's put a question mark. Type is equal to tiger, and total is equal to 9. And as you can see the animal bean values over here. And the view parameters not only accept the query string parameters and populate the bean, but they can also be converted and validated just like your post parameters. So over here, we can specify validation like this. Let's validate the length maybe. So over here, let's put validate length. Let's save and run this example. So over here, let's mention some other name smaller than 5 characters. So over here, let's specify cat. Let's enter, and you get a validation error. So view parameters are used to handle GET requests. Not only this, but JSF2 also provides facility for generating GET requests. So as we have seen over here, H button and H link can be used to send GET requests. So just to see an example, so over here, let's go to index page. Let's create a new H button maybe. H button, and let's use parameters. We can pass parameters which will generate the query string parameters. Let's give a name of type. The value can be something like tiger. Let's close this off. Let's give another parameter. Param name is equal to total, and the value is this time 9. And as you know, for H button, unlike command button, we have to specify the outcome attribute instead of action or action listener. So over here, let's specify outcome. Outcome is equal to, let's mention the page name over here, trial, and let's give some value to the button. This will be displayed on the top of the button. Let's say go to trial page, and let's run this example. So over here, let's open index.xhtml. So let's click this button. As you can see, we went to trial page along with the passed parameters. The topic we are going to discuss next is how to handle error pages. So over here, let me just delete this off, and the action method of the command button is bound to save animal. I made a small change over here. If total number is equal to 0, then we throw an exception. Also, a change over here is, let's delete this off, or let's comment this out. And over here, let's put this, or else you can change development to production over here. So if a user enters 0 for animal total, the save method throws an exception. So let's run this example. So over here, let's type index.xhtml, and let's type tiger over here, and over here let's keep it as 0, let's submit, and you get an exception. You shouldn't be showing such error pages to the user. Not only this page doesn't gel well with the design, but malicious users can gain useful information from the error shown over here. So it's a good practice to nominate certain pages which will be shown when such error occurs. So over here I created a new page, failure.xhtml, and I just printed some text over here. And over here in web.xml file we can specify the error page like this. So whenever an exception occurs we go to this page. So let's try out this example. So over here let's open index page again and let's give the total as 0 and let's submit, and we go to the failure page. Not only this, but instead of exception type, here I specified error code. So here I specified 404 exception, which occurs when a resource is not found. So let's run this example. So over here let's type some page which doesn't exist. So let's type something, give a new extension, let's put something more, let's enter, and again we go to the failure page. Many a times you want your application to be accessible to people belonging to different geographical regions, that is, people belonging to different locales. For example, over here this is a page shown in English, and over here I shown the same page in Marathi. Marathi is one of the languages in India. So let's see how to localize our application. So over here I created a resource bundle. Resource bundle comprises of text files which are usually named .properties. The properties file contain name value pairs. So over here this is message.properties, this is messages_en, and over here messages_mr for Marathi. Now these property files have to be on a class path, so they can be put in your classes directory under web-inf. Since our project is a Maven project, we have to put this in source main resources. Over here I created a package and I put the property files in it. So since this is a Maven web project, whatever folder structure we have over here will finally be put in web-inf/classes over here. So just to show you an example, let's open files, and over here let me open this created WAR file. Over here let's go to web-inf classes, and as you can see the property files are inside the classes. The next thing we have to do is we have to specify this message.properties file or the resource bundle in a web configuration file, that is your JSF web configuration file. So over here let's open web facesconfig.xml. So in facesconfig file under application element we have two sub elements, local config and resource bundle. In resource bundle we specify the fully qualified name of the properties file. So over here it's mycompany.animalweb.messages because that's the package structure we have over here, and over here we specify a variable name for accessing this properties file or this resource bundle. In local config, we specify two things. First one is default local, and we can have one or many supported locales. So over here, we are only supporting Marathi, and the default local is English. So by default, this is a file which will be selected, and for Marathi, this file will get selected. Notice that a variable name for the resource bundle is messages over here. So let's go to the index file, and instead of specifying English text over here, let's specify the resource bundle text. Let's use messages dot. We get IntelliSense for that. Let's specify the type over here, and let's delete this off, and let's specify total number. So messages dot total number. So let's run this example. So over here let's close this off and let me press enter, and what you get is English because the default locale is en mentioned over here. And now let's specify Marathi over here. So let's go to tools, let's select options, and over here in content tab let's select a language. So let's select Marathi over here, let's go down and let's select Marathi, and let's add it and let it move up. If it's down, then just push this move up button. Let's click yes, okay, and let's now refresh the page, and what we get is Marathi text over here.